This week, coming up from the ashes.
Go ahead, guys. Take the floor. I need a sip of water.
Go get your sip of water while we talk about the movie that made a franchise.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it came out in 2016 for the sequel that they released in like the 80s. That was kind of neat.
Man, we just started.
I couldn't hold back. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Are you troubled by lack of things to listen to in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread whenever a new episode of your favorite podcast doesn't come out? Have you or your family never listened to podcasts that are good or decent or maybe even trash? If you've experienced any of these symptoms, then don't wait another minute. Tune into this podcast right now. From the ashes, we're ready to entertain you. The date is Monday, March 25th. I am your dubious, skeptical, definitely not dead host, Arsonist Clown, and with me are my three podcast weenies. How about you guys introduce yourselves for today?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I am Phoenix.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Zhombi.
And today we're here to talk about all things busting good. Not
Busting
that busting,
nuts.
we're talking ghost busting.
Whoa.
Nice try, Joe. But yeah, we're all here to talk about Ghostbusters things, from how it all began to maybe the cartoon. I know we're not going to be able to cover it all, maybe. I don't know. Depends on how we're going today. I
So
just
true.
woke up with a panic attack thinking I overslept again, but we're good with that. Anyways, I guess we should start right at the beginning, shouldn't we? Good old Ghostbusters 1. Go ahead, guys. Take the floor. I need a sip of water.
Go get your sip of water while we talk about the movie that made a franchise.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it came out in 2016 for the sequel that they released in like the 80s. That was kind of neat.
Man, we just started.
I couldn't hold back. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So before that 2016, there was a movie back in 1984 called Ghostbusters, and it was the brainchild of
There was?
Dan Aykroyd. Yes.
Wait, what are we doing today?
Goodness gracious.
You need to eat a brain and get caught up.
Hey, look, I'm trying to go on a diet, all right?
Oh, brain free.
Brain free, yes.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It seems
Only
impossible.
ethically sourced brains from now on.
Oh, okay.
So
So
donations are welcome.
yeah, you don't want this brain. It has nothing to offer.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want that brain. It has DVD on the mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hey.
a bad disease to have. Really
Yeah.
sad. Too bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Every time I message somebody to play DVD, he just ignores it. Oh, wait, this is Ghostbusters we're talking about. So anyways, so Ghostbusters came out in 1984. It was the brainchild of Dan Aykroyd. Like he was the one that helped write this, and it was an amazing movie. Like it was a horror comedy, which I think they wanted to be more of a horror movie at first, but how could it be a horror movie with people like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd in there and Harold Ramis? I mean, that literally is. They're known for comedy before this, and after this, for the most part. So when
Only for the most part.
well, for the most part, like Bill Murray has tried to go into a few more serious roles, and so has Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I still say they're both known for their comedy.
Oh, they are absolutely. But
That saying for the most part doesn't apply.
hey, most part does apply.
It does not.
It totally does. Give me
No,
back my
because they're still
toy.
just known for it.
Daddy took my toy. That's how
Children.
this argument sounds.
Don't make
Well-
me come back there.
You won't pull the car over. You have
I'll
no
pull
balls.
this podcast around.
I'll turn this podcast. Gosh. So yeah, this movie to me was amazing. I remember when it came out. The first time I actually seen it was when I was at my aunt's house, and
When it came out, you guys went to the movie theater.
no, I didn't go to the theater to see it, but you like that's funny, but I was alive, so shut
I know.
up.
That's why I laugh.
You drove to the movie theater?
I was like 7 years old when that came out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. You weren't 40.
Yeah, but so the first time I seen it was at my aunt's house, and she either rented it or it was, I don't know, it was something, you know.
She stole it. All right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she stole
Those
it.
are the
and-
only two options.
She stole it, and we watched that movie for the first time at her house. I actually can say that's. I remember where I was the first time I seen that movie. So, you know.
That was a way to phrase that.
Do what?
Normally, there's only one thing people talk about when they talk about where they were the first time they heard about or saw it.
Well,
There's
you
only
know,
one event in history where people talk about it like that,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Ghostbusters coming out.
Hey, it was for
It was
me.
It was about it's like 15 years later, something like that.
It was a warm and brisk day, and
Was it 14 days? 14 years later
14 years later for what?
from Ghostbusters coming out to the event that everyone refers to as
Oh,
like where they were when it happened. I remember where I was.
it was 17 years
Ooh.
later.
Was 17 whole years?
Mhm.
What? No. How?
Yeah, 2001. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just checking. So, yeah. So, anyways, that
Oh
was
yeah, 84.
do what?
So where were the Ghostbusters during 9/11? Why does no one ask these questions?
Arson, back to you.
What do you want me to say?
You're the
It's
host.
pretty good so
Sure.
far. I'm the host that is actually giving creative freedom.
I need answers, damn it. Where were they?
They were overseas in Chicago.
Overseas in Chicago.
You know how many ghosts are in Chicago? You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, endless. No,
No,
not
they-
according to this third movie.
They were overseeing the 2016 version. That early. That's how long it was in pre-production.
Holy smoly.
Man, why do you hate Arson so much?
What? You're the one that brought it up first.
You just brought it up. I haven't talked about it once. You just keep on talking about it. I'm starting to think you left that movie or something.
Hey, the only good thing about that movie, as I've always said, was Chris Hemsworth. That's the only thing I liked about that movie. And the rolling credits.
Jeez, we're supposed to be talking about the first movie.
Exactly. See, this is what happens when you hand over creative freedom.
Well, I'm not hating it, but it's severely off topic.
Yeah, back
I
to
guess-
9/11.
I guess
So,
I guess I should put the foot down when it comes to like we should be talking about the topic at hand, creative freedomly, not to straying too far from the source subject.
well, where they ghosts or what?
They
Who
busted
really
it, I
hijacked
can
those
tell you
planes?
that much.
Ghostbusters went
busted.
around. They all went into retirement.
Well, they are old.
There were no more ghosts. Well, that's canonically what happened.
Ah, okay.
They busted all the ghosts and they couldn't bust no more ghosts, so they all retired. By retired, I mean they all kind of shriveled up. It had to get real jobs again.
Yeah, that's
then
So,
one
Zhombi,
died.
any of your thoughts, mate?
What do you think they
Oh.
were in 9/11?
I have no idea
Zombie?
why we went to this, but
A zombie one
I have
named it
no
already.
idea either.
Zombie, let's get back to the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Yeah, tell us your experience with the first movie.
So, I honestly I can't remember the first time I saw it.
Most people
Um,
can't.
um, but you know, I wasn't like I know I wasn't like in high school, so I know I must have been a kid. Um, I don't recall watching it and just being like all struck, like, oh wow, this was such a great movie. Um, because like to me as a kid, like every movie I saw was good. Like I don't recall watching a movie as a kid that I was allowed to watch that I was like, oh, I hated that.
Right.
Um, I liked it, but it didn't like alter my world. I didn't like run around pretending to be a Ghostbuster. I didn't get any of the toys or anything like that. Um, but I mean, I've seen it a couple times since then, and you know, occasionally make the quotes from the movie as needed.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been quoting the movie quite a bit, but it's not really the movie. It's really the Epic Rap Battles of History episode that I'm quoting.
What?
It's going
What?
nowhere. I have to shift gears. Hold on a second. Uh, uh.
Make sure you put it in the clutch first.
So
Yeah, hold on. I think I had the emergency brake on.
take a listen to this, okay?
Oh,
The top movies. Listen to some of the movies that came out in 1984, and Ghostbusters led them all. Ghostbusters, and was the top grossing movie of 1984, and back then they made 295.2 million. And I don't know what that would transition to now with inflation and all that, how much that would be actually. But listen to some of these movies that came out, and I'm going to start towards the bottom. The movie Bachelor Party, which had Tom Hanks in it. Another movie that had him in it was Splash, 16 Candles, Nightmare on Elm Street, Purple Rain, Revenge of the Nerds, Romancing the Stone, Terminator, Karate Kid, Footloose, Gremlins, Beverly Hills Cop, Police Academy. All these movies came out. The Never-Ending Story. These movies came out in 1984, and Ghostbusters like killed them all. And that surprises me with Beverly Hills Cop, which is kind of funny because that leads me to this. Did you know who was supposed to originally play Winston in the movie?
well, based on what you just said, I have a very good guess.
Yes, Ralph Macchio.
Would it by no?
Idiot. Go ahead, Joe. I tripped him up on
First
that.
of all, fuck Ralph Macchio. He's not the Karate Kid. God damn it. He's the bully, the bad guy in those movies.
I agree with you for once.
And I'm not gonna go anymore. All right, he's the good guy in those movies, and I won't stand. No, obviously it was well, we all know who it was. We don't have to talk
No,
about
who
it.
was it? Who was it? Who was it? Please
It
tell
was
me.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Eddie
Oh, you
Murphy
think I
apparently.
didn't know Eddie Murphy? Think I
Well-
didn't know the titular character of Beverly Hills Cop that they're making another one of?
Yeah, well, it's actually like it's
That's
supposed to come out.
Detroit, baby.
Detroit, baby. But yeah, so Eddie Murphy was supposed to be Winston in that, and something fell through, and they
Kind of
got
left fell through.
Eddie's replacement. Which, to be fair, Ernie Hudson was amazing
liked
in
him
that
more.
movie. Ernie Hudson was amazing.
I don't think Eddie Murphy's style comedy would match well with Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. I think they're kind of slow, quick witted, but like
Yeah,
slow about it. Where Eddie's just all over the fucking place.
yeah.
Zing.
But yeah, I just wanted to go through some of those movies that came out in '84. Like there's other ones too, like Amadeus and The Natural. This is Spinal Tap. Like there's so many that came out, and these are just some of the top. And the movie Oddly enough, the movie 1984 came out in 1984. So,
Oh, George Orwell classic.
yeah. So, like
Have you ever read that book?
I have not read it. I've seen the movie, but I have not read it.
Oh, I have not seen the movie yet. I can't
But-
find where it is.
But yeah, so literally all of these. I think actually Indiana Jones came out, or like I think the Temple of Doom came out around that time too,
Would we?
in '84, I think.
Would we?
But
What a year for cinema.
yeah, right. Like that's so much.
I wasn't even born.
Me either. I mean, what?
Oh, we both know.
Yeah, all right, old
God.
man.
What was your birth date again? 1890?
Well, back in my day, yes.
You would probably be speaking in a more Victorian era.
Yeah,
I don't know, depending on where
I was a
was,
little through
right?
20s. No, I don't know. Based on the date you said.
So yeah, Ghostbusters had some competition and they crushed them all. Like
Naturally.
Red Dawn came out that year too.
Oh, I like the remake more.
Really? Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
That piss you off.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wow.
I think it would have worked too.
I was gonna totally disregard that. Just say, let's move on. Because
Like, I could feel you seething inside. Like, it's not. It's definitely not.
yeah. So yeah,
I did see the new one before I saw the old one. So it did have favor over the other one before
yeah.
I saw it.
There's just something about that original though. Just
Yeah,
like
it's
the
definitely
original
better.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, 2016, great year.
He's gonna do this the whole time. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Anyways, I guess we should say one last thing about, Ghostbusters. There's really, there's not much to say about it because everybody mostly knows what it is, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan. There's, it's literally just as simple as it is on paper, But I guess if I had to bring up one more thing about it for everybody here, what would you say is your favorite scene?
Every time the Keymaster gets locked out of his apartment, I loved it. Great detail.
That was hilarious. The Keymaster getting locked out.
I'm the Keymaster.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you, Zombie?
It'd have to be when they're on the roof, and it's the God, I can't remember who initially says it, but someone prompts
Stan Aykroyd.
Egon and says, I can't remember what he said, but Egon basically like can't terrified beyond belief or recognition or something like that.
Don't cross
Tried
the
to think of
streams.
something that would never hurt us,
Right.
Mr. Puffed.
He's like, it just popped in my head. I think one of my favorites is like towards the beginning, the librarian with a shh. I love that because it sets the precedent for the whole movie. Like the way they go in there and like they see the ghost and it's like shh, and then all of a sudden it just like rages at them.
Well, they kind of provoked her first.
Oh, yeah.
Get her!
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know what they expected or what they were even going to do. Would they think they were going to grab her or something?
Yeah, get her! Ah! Yeah. So I'd say that's probably one of my favorites because, like I said, it kind of sets a standard for the rest of the movie. There's a lot of it I like the banter they have in the hotel, and when
The introduction of
Slimer, yes. Which, by the way, after you get done with your favorite part, I got a couple things to tell you guys. So, fun facts rather. But yeah, so I don't know. I have a lot of favorites, but that one sticks out. As soon as you said what's your favorite, the librarian scene came across me like really, memorable.
Well, there is. I guess there is one scene that sticks out a lot to me, but it's because I find it more hilarious. The other scenes are really good, But for some reason, when Peck Dick shuts down the containment grid, and they all run out, and all the ghosts get out, and then like the lads are going to find the keymaster because he stumbled away during the chaos. And then when they could try to go after him, Peck stops him and he's like, "Yo, I want these men arrested." And then Egon just completely loses his cool facade. He's like, "Your mother!"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would
That
technically
scene-
make Egon one of the first ever people on screen to make a "your mom" joke. That is canonical. Egon Spangler was one of the first ever people to make a "your mom" joke
The
on screen.
your mama joke. That's pretty good though. Yeah. Peck was
Your
such a
mother.
Peck was such an annoying character. And like I know he was supposed to be. And
Yeah, I hate when they do a good job at it. That always
Yeah.
pisses me off.
yeah, I mean you
Such a good
genuinely
job that people hated him in real life when they saw him.
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So
was awful.
that was yeah, that's pretty amazing. But yeah, that's funny. I do remember that a lot too.
That scene and like the one immediately after, where he's like, "Dickless, you turn off the power grid." He goes, "That's true." I'm like, "Yes, sir, it is true. This man has no dick." Kills me every time. You
Yeah.
can't get better than Bill Murray. You know,
Bill
he's just
Murray's
so funny.
amazing. Oh, he is so hilarious.
It's true.
Um,
He has no dick.
It's true.
I guess there's also another scene where that's a big Twinkie.
Yeah.
And then Bill Murray comes in, he's like, "Tell him about the Twinkie." What about
Yeah.
the
That was one of the quotes I say all the time, but not because of the movie, but because of the epic rap battles of history like episode.
That's just gonna keep coming up as well.
Yeah.
Rap
The
battles.
Twinkie. Like your show, soft, fluffins filler. I'll kick your hiney, man. I'm a savage killer. That and
That's
I
how the-
collect
that's how the rapper
spores.
actually sounded.
I collect spores.
I
He sound
collect
that deadpan.
spores. Yeah, they nailed his deadpan. It was so fun. I recommend it. If you like the show, and or the movie, and you like the show MythBusters, you'd either think it's really cringy and hard to watch, or you think it's fun to watch.
I don't know. I do find a lot of.
I'm in both. I'm in
I'll-
both camps.
I like MythBusters. I do. So I've got a couple of fun facts for you guys. Do you know what Slimer was originally based off of? I'd be surprised if you even know this, Arson.
Oh, booger.
There's no way it's a booger because I would have guessed that.
Slimer is based off the ghost of John Belushi.
That's terrible.
What?
Like seriously,
That's
okay.
fucked up.
So it said to pay tribute to his friend who passed away, Aykroyd, who called Slimer the ghost of John Belushi, and confirmed that Slimer was inspired by him. Like literally, I had no idea until I saw this. Like it threw me off big time. But yeah, so Slimer is literally based off the ghost of John Belushi. And yeah, and of course we talked about Winston's role, that Eddie Murphy was offered the role, but he turned it down.
Someone else that was going to play him. I think there was someone, but they passed away. I think. I don't remember. I think I may get that wrong. I think somebody was going to play someone, but they passed away. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, like I said, Eddie Murphy was offered the role, but he turned it down to do a little movie called Beverly Hills Cop. So that's the reason he turned it down.
I think that paid off in dividends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out for the better for all parties involved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what about this? Do you know what the possible original title of Ghostbusters was supposed to be, Arson?
I remember reading this fact, but it was so long ago. I can't even remember.
So Aykroyd had the ideas of Ghost Smashers and Ghost Breakers before settling on Ghostbusters. Initially, the name Ghostbusters wasn't available because of another movie from 1975. But they got the rights to it. Columbia Pictures got the rights. So I thought that was kind of funny. And there's also, I never knew this, there was an actual hotline for Ghostbusters. Like you could call
yeah.
the Ghostbusters hotline back in the day. You know, they had a pre-recorded message from Murray and Aykroyd saying that they couldn't come to the phone because they were busting ghosts. I was like, huh. Could you
I
imagine
had heard
that?
about that.
I didn't know that. The number was 555-2368. Go ahead and try. I'm assuming it's a 1-800 number.
Try it right now.
Yeah.
See if it's still in service.
But to be fair, if it's a hotline, it's probably 1-900. It says, unfortunately, it is no longer in service, but you can listen to it in a video. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's on YouTube somewhere. And my final fact about the original Ghostbusters is that the film was inspired by a real Ghostbuster related to Dan Aykroyd. Y'all seem flabbergasted by that.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
ghosts aren't real, so
So it turns out that the actor Dan Aykroyd's great grandfather and father were interested in the paranormal. Peter Aykroyd Sr. Even published a book called A History of Ghosts. Aykroyd himself was an avid believer and came up with the idea for the film, originally starring himself and John Belushi. Unfortunately, Belushi passed away in 1982 and Aykroyd had to start over. Ramis was hired to help rewrite the script, and the rest is history. And so there is your guy that passed away that was supposed to be in it.
John.
But John Belushi was supposed to be in the original Ghostbusters.
That'd been good.
But
I think it'd been hard to not see the Blues Brothers watching the Ghostbusters, though.
Yeah, but the thing is if that would have never happened, we would have never got Harold Ramis in the Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
because he was hired.
I don't think it would have been as good without, like, if it would have been John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, because I've just been watching the Blues Brothers fight ghosts the entire time.
Yeah, it's like, where's their fedoras?
What the hell's going on?
But yeah,
I mean, they definitely put on the Blues Brothers outfit at some point during that movie. That'd be good.
They would have had to somehow.
They had to have.
Do a costume change. There'd be a montage looking for the outfit that the Ghostbusters would wear.
Or
like this? No, that would be great.
It'd be even better if they drove up to like the what is it, the old firehouse and that vehicle they had.
Yeah,
the
cop car.
That. Yeah, but I think that would have been great. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's some fun facts about the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, well, there we go. Get that all nice and wrapped up, tied in a bow.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Podcast's over. Good job, guys.
Throw it in there. Yeah, all right. Wrap it up, people.
Oh, we still have about 3 more hours.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess we could talk about Ghostbusters 2. How about you start us, Phoenix, since you're the one keeping us here?
Yes.
Well, okay, so Ghostbusters 2, I really enjoyed that movie. It wasn't the same as the first, obviously. Like,
because it was in development hell. There was a lot of rewrites. It's just a completely different movie from the original vision.
Right. But the movie itself was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cast, that they all came back and they had a couple additions. I liked how they had Vigo in there, and
is Vigo
but
not that Vigo.
No, but I just really enjoyed that movie. It was, like I said, it wasn't as good as the original, but it did have its moments. The biggest thing I remember from that is the Bobby Brown scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So Bobby Brown did the song for Ghostbusters 2, and there's a scene where the Ghostbusters are like outside of a hotel, and I think he's like a valet or something. He's like, "Oh, it's the Ghostbusters," and it's literally Bobby Brown that's in that role. So, but it was just a little cameo, and but that's not the most memorable, but it is. My most memorable one is where they take the Statue of Liberty and walk down throughout all in New York. But I'd
imagine that's the most memorable for Eddie, the New Yorkers that were living there at the time.
Yeah. Could you imagine
Like,
that?
what the hell?
I
That'd
can
be
just
terrifying.
picture it, having like an apartment along that route. You're trying to sleep because you work days, and you wake up, you're like, what
Yeah.
the is going? You look at it, it's just like,
Thundering
I
footsteps.
really need to lay
Lady
off the
Liberty
drugs.
herself is passing your street.
You're just
Holy
like,
moly!
What the
and
heck?
I'm not doing drugs anymore.
Few years ago, there was this big ass marshmallow. Now it's Lady Liberty walking through the streets.
I really never understood why. Like, I know what was it? Was it like 5 months or? I know it was sometime after the first movie. And then like everybody basically forgot about them. I'm like, how could you forget the giant fucking marshmallow man and all the lightning and ghosts and crap, and then like you just kind of still don't believe in the Ghostbusters? I would.
Yeah, there's a really weird plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Flippers aren't
that
real,
has to
and
do with
then
the whole
and then that
fucking
dickhead
thing.
judge. I'm like, we're not gonna have any of
That's
this ghost
the
nonsense in this
Scolari
courtroom.
brother.
What are you
That-
talking about? Were you not in New York when this happened?
Yeah, what the
What are you on about? Are you
Okay.
gonna call any of that bullshit?
That scene is my favorite. Like the courtroom scene is my absolute favorite. That and the
Oh, we
dancing
know why
toaster.
it's your favorite.
I love the dancing toaster too. But yeah,
Didn't believe in ghosts, and then has ghosts literally happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell him you don't believe in ghosts.
Oh, that judge! Oh my gosh, he was such a douche too, but it was freaking hilarious. And Ray's over there like, "Whoa!"
Wow, he was really fascinated.
Yeah, he was. Oh, such a good movie. Like yeah. There's not much I can say about that bad, except for like it wasn't as good as the original. But other than that, it was a good follow up.
I think there
It's
was
good
another
enough.
scene that I remember. It was I don't know. I think it was like in the beginning. It was like completely out of nowhere, but like freaking Peter goes to visit Egon. He's like, "Oh yeah, the ladies must love that big cranium of yours." And then Egon is just like, "I think they're more interested in my epididymis." And I was like, "What's an epididymis?" It's something to do. It's like something in your ball sack or something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then there's like Peter laughs a little bit, and I think the realization hits it. It's the smirk that Egon gives Peter that really sold the. It wasn't until
Wow.
much later that I finally realized what it was. He really was. Egon was the best Ghostbuster to me. I know
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Peter a lot more for that, but like Egon was such a smart ass. I love the fruit.
That is crazy. Wow. What about you, Zombie? What do you think about the second movie?
So I like it. Obviously. As far as which do I like better, the first or the second, I don't know. I don't know if I can really accurately make that decision.
Yeah.
Like they're both good movies. Like I don't really want to. Like I'd have to watch them both like back to back to be able to be to make
Well,
that decision.
I did just that. I watched one yesterday, and I finished the second one today, and I'm
Well,
almost done with the third one. Canonically,
Right.
not the
Yeah.
2016 one. I don't know where to find that, and I don't want to look for it either.
It's in the trash can.
They pulled it from all streaming services
Well, I mean,
I don't know
this
what
one's
you're
not a
talking
streaming
about, so-
service.
to stain on the legacy.
It's like
Try to
So-
forget that,
As far as like things that I like about it, I mean, obviously we talked about the Lady Liberty scene. That was, I don't know anybody who doesn't like that scene.
he's waiting for me to say something.
A little dramatic pause. The only thing that, like, when I think about the second movie, the only thing that comes to my mind is Vigo.
He's vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the first thing that came to mind. Just like that little guy. I can't remember what his name was.
I mean, I watched it this morning. I still don't remember what his name was.
And just the scene at the beginning when they're the Ghostbusters are all in there and they're taking the readings and they're talking to the painting and just that whole interaction between everybody. It was great.
When Peter's taking the pictures, like, oh, he's like,
work it.
Yeah, always.
And at the end, he's like, it's not my best work, but or something like that. I can't remember.
You weren't the best, but there weren't many better.
Yeah, like it was amazing the way that all.
I mean, again, if you have Bill Murray in a movie, it's gonna be a funny movie,
right?
Regardless of what he's saying, what he's doing, it's gonna be funny.
Oh man, he is. Absolutely
I watched him
hilarious.
play in the celebrity pro-am golf tournament, and he just casually hit it behind his back, looking like it was an accident, sunk it. Just funny. No matter what he does, he's funny about it.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. Anything I've ever seen him in, he's just naturally funny. He's just a really, really funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want to hear some fun facts about the second movie?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Are there any?
No, there's quite a few in this one.
Aside from the obvious one.
Yeah. Well, it says several changes were made to the sequel in order to reflect the popularity of the animated series, The Real Ghostbusters. That including bringing back Slimer as comic relief, avoiding any scenes of the Ghostbusters smoking, and changing Janine's appearance to more closely resemble her animated counterpart.
I want more smoking.
So yeah, they took out.
I know the smoking was one of the best parts, especially when
the cigarette hanging out of Vino's mouth, bro. Come on, just dangling off his lip, staring at Slimer down the hall.
Yeah, but you got to realize the time, the age, like.
No, I don't care about them kids. Let them smoke.
Oh yeah, as awesome as the animated series is, it really did kind of blunder the second movie in that sense.
So there's a couple things in here that'd be kind of cool too. Like, so Ben, everybody knows who Ben Stein is, right?
Yes.
Like he had a small cameo in the film, but he almost had a much bigger role because Stein was considered as a possible replacement for Bill Murray after Murray showed up reluctant to participate in the sequel, which is kind of interesting. Could you imagine Ben Stein taking the role, taking the place of Bill Murray? That there's no way that would have been good. I'm sorry. Like
that would have been weird.
That would have been really weird.
Who's this guy? Wait, this is Peter?
That's the guy from the Wonder Years.
If they would have literally just replaced him, that would have been absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna recast Peter. Like, you can't do that. That's not how this works.
I would do everything in my power not to make sure I don't show anything with Ben Stein in the trailer, just to get people to go.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, especially today. If you were to do it today, that would never work. It might work back then though.
Yeah. So here's another one that's kind of funny. The original screenplay contains several scenes not included in the actual film, including a scene where Ray is possessed by Vigo while driving the Ecto-1 and attempts to kill the other Ghostbusters. Could you imagine? That's
just always.
Yeah, Ray's the one that. I mean, come on now, it's Ray. Another one is the film also has a deleted subplot in which Rick Moranis as Lewis lays various traps for Slimer, hoping to prove his mettle as a Ghostbuster. So I don't know.
Definitely prove his mettle as a. Why did I forget it all of a sudden?
as a huh? What?
As a defendant in court.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was...
I got turned into a dog and they helped me.
I got better.
Thank you, Ramus. Short but pointless.
So I'll go through a couple more. Not all of these, but let's see. So the Ghostbusters 2 movie set a new record for the highest opening weekend box office gross when it hit theaters. What's funny is that only stood for like a week, because do you know what came out the next weekend?
No.
Batman.
Oh.
And
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. But,
Man, this was a rough year for movies.
yeah. Oh.
The first one came out and there were just nonstop bangers. And then that one came out, there's like kind of alright movies. Like every movie that came out that year sounds like it was probably it was alright. I mean, better than what's coming out now, but
I mean, to be fair, I didn't look up like what came out during that time, so
I'll tell you what I'm about to do.
So, and let's see, one last one. Vigo. Well, I've actually got two with Vigo. The Vigo actor had no idea that his lines were going to be dubbed over by another actor, and when he was at the premiere, he literally stormed out of the premiere after he found out that happened. So
Similar thing happened with the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, with James Earl Jones.
That high-pitched German guy was like, I'm not gonna dub my voice.
Yeah,
I'm doing Greta Veta, Leah. Oh, give me the brand.
Where's my later?
You thought you gonna stay in the movie? What are you fucking stupid? What are you talking about? I don't know. I never understood his complaint. Like, I can't believe they dubbed over me. Can't. You didn't hear James Earl Jones go like, "Wow, this is way better than what the fuck I was saying."
Yeah, like at least I got paid. That's what I'd be like. Hey,
I'd just be glad I had money. I'm like, thank God.
Right. So, and the last thing Vigo related is Vigo wasn't based on a specific historical figure, but his appearance and backstory were strongly influenced by Vlad Dracula and
the Impaler
and Rasputin. So, like,
you could definitely hear Rasputin.
Yeah. So, like, basically a mixture of the two, which was kind of interesting.
They gave him the crazy death of Rasputin in the like psycho murderous rage of Vlad.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Well, here's one more. The twin babies that played Oscar were the nephew of John Denver. The nephews of John Denver.
Oh.
I didn't know that until just now. So, but yeah, that's
Roadhouse came out in this year.
Roadhouse.
Where the gods? The fourth Ghostbusters movie is gonna come out in the series, and the new Roadhouse is gonna come out this year too.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Look at that. That is interesting. Of course, I don't think.
Man, I hope they release a Batman this year too. Uncle Buck 2 could be this year. Bring John Candy back.
No, this time it's going to be Macaulay Culkin as the Uncle Buck role.
Oh yeah. He's a little small. I think he need a tall guy.
Look, I loved the interaction between Macaulay Culkin and John Candy.
Yeah, that's great.
Like when he's asking all the questions, what's your record for most questions asked? Consecutive questions, like he's like 32 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean those are great.
But yeah. So, anyways,
all right, there we go. That wraps everything up, right? That's all we got to say.
Those are all the movies.
The first,
all right.
First half,
those were all the movies. We're finally done. Time to take a short break. I'm gonna go pop open a bag of the famous brand Stay Puft marshmallows. Phoenix, you think you could take us to an ad break while I munch on these?
I think we can. Be right back, everybody. While we're away, please enjoy the popcorn that is provided.
Wait, there's popcorn?
Whoa.
Yes, popcorn. Popcorn is provided. Yes. We'll be right back, guys.
Since when?
Since now. I don't know. You have to go.
I think I have to go make some popcorn during the ad break.
You should do that.
We're at intermission.
All right. Let's go out to the lobby and grab ourselves a snack.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go Ghostbusters! Our courteous and efficient staff is on call 24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural elimination needs.
We're ready to believe you.
The city is under siege by an army of ghosts. We're gonna need more firepower.
Can I be of any help?
Aren't you retired?
Grab your juice boxes.
New York is only the beginning. What would you have done back in the day?
I'd have showered and shaved and hit the clubs.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Ghostbusters, March 22nd.
And we're back.
Yeah, it turns out the marshmallows weren't exactly marshmallows. They were very little buggers. They harassed me a lot. Anyways, that was a good ad break, Phoenix. Whatever you chose, I'm sure it was fantastic. Let's get into our next movie, Afterlife. Take it away, Phoenix.
So Afterlife is a great I know I've said this with the other ones, but it was an absolute gem of a movie. Like the way they did everything in there, from centering around Egon's family, you know, out at the old farm, and just everything around it. And to be fair, Paul Rudd being added to the cast, like, makes this movie a million times better. like so, Paul Rudd alone, just like perfect addition to the cast. Like even with the kids,
Paul Rudd, more like Paul Stud.
Paul Stud, that's right. You say, hey, look, y'all should really know because Joe and I don't always agree. So, you know,
First.
Yeah, like I just absolutely adored this movie from the beginning to end. From the hints that they had about Egon throughout the whole thing, like his ghost and stuff, playing a big part of it until the end where you actually see him form. I'm like, oh my gosh, like cold chills all over the place because when you see that, you're like bawling your eyes out because yes, I did. Not to mention all the originals coming back for the most part to reprise their roles. Like it had a lot of good nods to everything. Granted, Rick Moranis didn't come back, but he retired due to, you know, his wife passing away years ago to raise their kids, and he's just never come back to acting since. So
I mean,
Rick's the best.
that to me doesn't really surprise me. I mean,
Mhm.
like I didn't like if he'd come back, that would have been the type of thing. I'm not one to like oh crap in the movie. Like if he had did that, I would have like crapped a brick.
Yeah.
Literally.
So the main disappointment for this movie was that Janine and Egon never got together. That was my biggest disappointment because everything led to that, especially like with the animated series and stuff. Like
The animated series leaned more into that, but I'm pretty sure that Harold himself said that he didn't really want that.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want any romance between Egon and Janine. That was something the animated series more did.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, as a fan of the animated series, you know, I could have hoped it, right? You know, so, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. But it's understandable. But yeah, that movie was an absolute gem throughout the whole thing. I just absolutely loved it.
That's it.
Good talk, guys.
That's
All
all
right,
right. That's it on my
let's
end.
wrap it up, guys.
Good movie.
Man,
It's a solid movie. Go watch Afterlife.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it introduced us to my little mini puffs, and
Puff.
if I wouldn't have had the mini Stay Puffs, I would not have these two little guys in front of me, Arsonistic Puffed and Puffy. Like,
Puff. Maybe
Puff.
you can call that the next one you get, but
but I'm just saying, like, you know, those things are adorable. Like, I don't
that
know.
was definitely one of the more memorable scenes.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
The whole chaos breaking out. when the little puffs.
In that freaking grocery store.
Yep, that led up to that whole freaking. I think one of my biggest gripes with the movie was like the lack of ghosts. There were only like like what, one or two ghosts, and then there was the two dogs, and then Gozer.
I think there was only
weren't really,
one
there
ghost.
were a lot more ghosts when everything started going to shit. Like when the portal opened, you saw a lot more
Yeah,
ghosts.
pretty sure it was just the Metal Eater. I think he was the only ghost outside of, you know, the end of the movie.
I mean, if you count the mini Stay Puffs, there's
I don't count
a lot.
them.
There's a lot, but
Those aren't ghosts. Those are little manifestations. Not the same thing.
But
I mean,
right.
Yeah, but I don't really think that. I mean, that would have been great to see more, but I don't
Oh, I don't think it was
miss
a bad thing.
Yeah, like I didn't miss it in the movie. Like watching it, I wasn't like, oh man.
Yeah,
I
this
wish
next
there's
one,
more.
they're gonna have a lot more ghosts.
Yeah,
They
had to set up the whole. Well, they had to set up, you know, who the Ghostbusters were.
I mean,
I think they did a good job of bringing
It
it
has been
to a new
while.
audience.
it was 32 years after the second movie,
Yeah.
so
And they had to like get you new Ghostbusters and make it believable.
yeah. I love it. The
They
first
did a
time
pretty
they
good job.
unearth the freaking Ecto-1 in the barn, like to see that like uncovered and like, oh my gosh, look at it. It was so cool. Like it was a good moment. You know, like, well, of course, the first time you seen that was in the trailer. Like when you seen the glimpse of the Ecto-1 all broken down and the dusty covered up, and but like overall, like the most touching part of that whole movie was the whole scene with Egon at the end. The
Naturally,
like that literally brought some tears to the eyes. But again, I had that all figured out about who the ghost in the house was. Which, by the way, you got to count Egon as a ghost.
Yeah, his presence throughout the whole movie there.
Yeah,
especially
they didn't really hide that.
No, it was pretty obvious.
It was pretty obvious, but
you made it seem like they were trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find it kind of tragic that at the beginning that was canonically supposed to be Egon, and he did die to whatever ghost.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I didn't. I thought that was obvious as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? Were they trying to be like, who is this? Was that the whole point? I saw that as soon as it started. I was like, oh, hey, that's Egon. Oh, that makes sense.
I
like, I guess
figured it was.
Harold is dead, so.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that's who it was. Based.
He didn't look like Bill Murray.
But
I figured
who is
that's
this one?
who it was based off of the everything, but until you
I mean,
see it.
But he's like, how'd you build this? The lamp points towards all of the declarations, all of his certifications.
Keepsakes.
Like, oh, right, you're a genius. He's like, yeah. We're like, well, who is the genius in the original?
She discovers that it's Egon, and then she gets fucking jump scared by the dog.
What?
That kind of got me. I'm not gonna lie. It was such a heartwarming moment, and then it just fucking happens. Oh, all right.
Oh, that was that. You're right though about that. Like, it's just to me, it was a great movie. And I'm looking forward to its follow up that's coming out. Well, by airing this podcast, it came out a few days ago, but we definitely pre-tape stuff. So this it comes out in a couple weeks. And
telling them this just now, Phoenix.
They're gonna figure it out. They're not stupid.
Why are you trying to negotiate, Phoenix? This is a podcast.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Not
I'm
a
sorry.
time capsule.
All right, so fine. So Ghostbusters Frozen Empire released on March 22nd. And let me tell you something. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go see it. It was amazing. I love the ending where all of them died.
I hope this comes back to bite you in the ass.
Oh my gosh, that would be.
I'm placing
That'd be great
right now. One of the OGs are gonna die. There's no way it's not gonna.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That ghost is way too powerful.
Which one do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be.
I got my money in Aykroyd.
I think it's Bill Murray.
I think it'd be Aykroyd because if Bill Murray died, everyone would be like, okay.
Yeah,
I think it's
but
sad, but he doesn't really do a whole lot with the franchise. But if Dan Aykroyd, I'd be like, oh shit, wow,
Hold on,
they're
hold
really
on.
killing off
Bill
DOG.
Murray dying would be the logical choice.
I agree.
Dan Aykroyd dying would be kind of it wouldn't
It'd
make
be
much
the
sense.
emotional choice. I think it'd make
I
everyone
think-
super sad.
Well, yeah, but I think what would make me the saddest would be if they killed Ernie. If they killed
Mm.
off
Look, hold on.
Winston. I think that would be especially sad.
Here's the thing, though. The game that is currently being played throughout everywhere, Spirits Unleashed, has both Bill Murray. I'm sorry, not Bill Murray. Has both Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson both in it. They can't kill them off because it's continuing. Like literally,
Wrong.
Well, that just brings into question if the game is canon, though, because it's obviously is after Afterlife, but we don't know if it's going to exactly be canon.
Yeah, but you know the teaser about they're talking about Egon's family moving to New York. Remember, in the game, like to open up the third floor.
Look, I'm not really holding my breath. All right, that's all I'm saying.
That's
Especially with
true.
what happened with the video game, which I'm going to talk about a lot, probably in a bit here. It was supposed to be the third movie, but especially after watching Afterlife, there were a lot of contradictions. So I can probably safely say that the video game
Not
isn't canon anymore.
Yeah,
because
no.
Afterlife kind of wrote a lot of things out of that.
Right.
So again, I'm not expecting them to really tie unless they probably are. Who knows? Maybe they won't forget this time. But again, don't hold your breath.
Maybe it'll be Janine that passes. Maybe they'll just get Janine and be like, okay.
They will never get rid of Janine. They can't do it. Not possible.
Not Ann Potts. But yeah. Well, hopefully they get Peck. I'm just saying.
You want Peck to get off?
I want Peck to get got. I'm just saying. We know he's in the movie. We've seen the trailer. We know he's in the movie. So
What do you mean we've seen the trailer? We've seen the movie. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah. We've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Patton Oswalt did a great job in that movie. I'm just saying.
I laughed my ass off when Peck got that ice shard right up the taint. That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, dude. And what they did to his eyeballs. Ooh, that was oof.
The glazed ice over effect.
Oh,
man, I know it was supposed to be disturbing, but I laughed. Everybody looked at me in the movie theater like I was some sort of maniac. Like, yeah, they finally got Dick.
I had a similar experience. They were doing that. They were laughing at me, or they all turned to look at me. I didn't know you weren't allowed to jack off at the movie theater. Since when?
Since Pee Wee Herman.
Which is bullshit.
No,
he should have absolutely been allowed. He's an adult
you
theater.
still can. You just have to be better about it.
All
right. Well, I'll work on that when the.
Make sure
you can't just scream out in the movie theater, "I'm jerking off!" You gotta.
Oh, that's probably why they knew.
That's got to be it. Yeah.
I was recording for my new podcast called Edge.
Did you have people sitting next to you in the movie theater?
What'd you say?
Did he have people sitting right next to him? That probably would have gave something away.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they were helping.
Yeah, but I had it in the popcorn bucket though, so they wouldn't have seen.
Hey, man,
I was just grabbing popcorn.
Really his arm in that popcorn bucket a lot.
Man,
He's not bringing anything out.
What the hell is this?
Oh hell no! That would have actually been especially weird if you were still eating the popcorn.
Offer it to everybody else around you. Would you like some popcorn? Why is it sticky?
Oh, it's the limited edition Ghostbusters popcorn bucket.
It's got the slime in it.
Like, why is this a dude popcorn bucket?
Oh my gosh, this is going downhill so fast.
You didn't even get your own. You didn't even get your own freaking. It's your specially made It Chapter 2 popcorn bucket that you brought to the movie theater that has a hole beneath it.
Yeah. What the hell is this?
The guy
you can't bring that in here.
serving up popcorn. What's the hole for? It's a surprise.
Don't worry about it. Don't come to the movie theater.
I wouldn't touch it though. Oh gosh.
Well, what movie theater do you go to so I could just completely
Oh, I'm
avoid
not telling you.
Yeah, I'm definitely avoiding that one too. So
I'm just
But you'll never
going
know what one it
nowhere.
is.
That's fine. I'm going nowhere near any movie theaters in your area.
I'm
what's
going
funny?
to your area.
What's funny
I'm
is you
actually
can
going
actually.
on tour with it.
What's funny is you can actually hear Joe eating popcorn. Like he literally went and
I
got
am.
popcorn during the break.
Yeah,
You also bring one of those those
out of my
drink
It
hats,
Chapter 2 buckets.
those drink hats from with the straws, so you don't have to like
Oh.
reach for your drink, so you can focus on your main task while eating and drinking at the same time.
Exactly. It's just better. It's just better. One time my dad and I snuck pop into the movie theater, but we snuck cans. So when we opened them during the movie, it was just we're like everyone turned and looked at us. What? Stop looking at me.
I'm
They're
just
They get
like-
really defensive.
As they're
It's a
eating their
soda.
boxed popcorn from frickin' Dollar Tree.
Dude, that's so gross. I would never.
box popcorn.
All right,
If my
boxed
popcorn wasn't
candies,
made
how's
today, I'm not eating it.
that? So now that we've completely destroyed the last movie and eating popcorn with
kinda-
Joe.
We kind of completely skimmed over Afterlife and then just kind of went on a huge tangent after talking a little bit about freaking Frozen Empire. But that's
Yeah.
completely fine. We can bring it back with a little bit of fun facts, Phoenix. Afterlife.
Fun facts. Well, I've got it's more of kind of like a I guess you could say it's trivia / fun facts, but did you know that in Afterlife that they had some of Egon Spengler's favorite snacks in the movie? They had the Cheez-It crackers, the Crunch and Munch, and Twinkies, and apparently gas.
Yes.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
Yeah, I did. That was great.
I didn't hear
tried
it.
to be
I'm
quiet
convinced.
and fart away from the mic.
I'm convinced no one would have heard it if Phoenix didn't say something about it.
Oh, dude.
So, also another fun fact is the Finn Wolfhard did not know he was auditioning for this movie. The audition sites were purposefully kept generic and vague as the movie was developed in secret. So and if you don't know who Finn is, he's the dude from Stranger Things. But
And It.
And It, yeah, and It. But he had no idea he was auditioning for a Ghostbusters movie. That's hilarious. Paul Rudd announced on social media that he would be joining the cast while standing in front of Hook and Ladder 8 in New York City, which was literally, if you guys don't know what Hook and Ladder 8 is, that's actually Ghostbusters HQ. So,
The iconic firehouse.
yeah. So, not a lot of whole fun facts. There's one more, and there's a Bible prophecy in the original Ghostbusters that Ray quotes, and it's Revelation 6:12, and that verse is seen again because he had it. Ray has it tattooed on his arm, and the verse says, "I watched as he opened the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of goat hair. The whole moon turned blood red." So that is literally tattooed on his arm. Pretty cool. I didn't know that. I didn't even see that, to be honest.
The return of Gozer.
Yeah, it's the return of Gozer. Yeah,
And they kicked its ass.
yeah, they did. So yeah, there's some fun facts for obviously the movie. There's one more. It was dedicated to Harold Ramis, who died in 2014. But that's not really. I mean, it's
not fun.
It's not a fun fact. That's more of a, it's a nice tribute in my eyes, So, granted, and the movie was centered around Egon. So, I just love how they brought Egon in as a ghost at the end. Like, they did so well on that with the CGI. Like, so good. So,
Well, they had it pretty easy because they were just doing a ghost. They didn't have to do
A physical
or
thing.
like
Yeah.
a really real looking thing.
Yeah. but they still did a really good job on it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my fun facts for that. I don't have any fun fact trivia for the new movie. Well, we just seen it, so it's kind of hard to.
You gotta wait for the stuff to come out.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Expect gnarly things. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of terrible things that can happen, especially when it's cold.
Yeah. Oh my
But
gosh.
at least we finally have a new enemy ghost, a new huge.
Oh
big
my
bad.
gosh, he.
I mean,
looks
how long
terrifying.
has it been? How long has it been since Vigo? Because Vigo was the
He's
last.
Vigo.
He's
He's Vigo.
Yeah, how long? How long has it been since Vigo?
Was that like 89 when it came out? 80 or was it 89?
Yes, 89.
Yeah. So since 89 is when it came out.
So about 75 years.
75. Joe does
Roughly,
not know
roughly.
math very well, so
I know math better than you. I know math better than you.
Mathematically.
sure you do. But yeah, so the new Ghost looks amazing, and to be fair, like this movie looks more like it has more of a serious overtone than the others. Granted, Afterlife kind of had one of those more serious overtones. They do have child endangerment in the new movie. With
Good.
the kids riding, on a seat that hangs outside of a vehicle, just sitting there.
Vecto one.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Granted, we already got a taste of that in Afterlife.
Yeah, we did. But what we didn't get a taste of in Afterlife is the coolest thing that I've seen in the trailer for this movie, and that is the drone traps. The drone traps look killer. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see those in the movie. I mean, I've already seen the movie. Yeah. They were amazing.
Should we even keep up with this bit anymore?
I don't think we can.
Okay, we haven't seen the movie, guys. We lied.
You guys didn't see the movie?
We deceived you.
Sorry,
It's
I didn't mean
over.
to.
I thought you guys were just purposely making stuff up about the movie. I didn't realize you guys didn't actually watch it yet. Well, I won't spoil it for you guys then.
He's on to us.
I won't
No,
spoil it.
Don't let him know that. You see, Joe has secret connections to the movie society.
Yeah. He's
Being an actor myself, being in that movie. I know
Yes,
things.
Mr. Wishmaster.
Yes.
Wishmaster.
Yes, I was actually supposed to be the new bad guy for Frozen, but they went with Elsa instead. So
you had to let it go.
yeah, it's too bad.
I had to do it.
Too bad. But hey,
You really
when
said that one.
Ghostbusters 5 comes out, we look out for the new bad guy, the Wishmaster. Just saying.
Joe
The
the Great.
Wishmaster. You're gonna be one of the more modern ghosts, at least.
I'm gonna be very
More-
similar to Vigo, just kind of always
It's
there,
Vigo.
but not really that
He's
scary.
Every time we mention Vigo, we're just gonna hear Zhombi
He's
say.
It's Vigo.
It's the guy pulling the strings.
So yeah, I can't wait. It just came out the 22nd, so you guys go see it. It's phenomenal.
It's really good.
Even though I've not seen it, but I haven't. So
Oh no way!
But that being said, let's
I guess
move
we could-
on. What?
Hold on, real quick.
The animated series, was that what you were going to say?
I was gonna say let's move on and let Arson do his job. So yes.
Well, you don't need to set me up for that.
No. So do you want to go animated series? Or do you want to go the original third Ghostbusters movie, video game / whatever?
I mean, we could talk a little bit about the animated series, considering that it's been a while. It's been a bit since I watched the animated series, and I don't know if Joe and Zombie have seen it.
Yeah.
No,
I have not.
Yeah, exactly.
but I could talk about another Ghostbusters movie or Ghostbusters cameo in movie. They couldn't take out Casper's family.
Well,
Casper's family was too much for the Ghostbusters to handle.
What was that?
They ran
on?
away.
What?
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
When was there a crossover between them and Casper?
They in Casper the movie. They came.
Oh, that's right.
They were running out of the house because they couldn't do anything about it.
Who are you gonna
Casper's
call?
family
Somebody
is more
else.
powerful. Yeah, Casper's family is canonically more powerful than all other Ghostbusters bad guys.
That's actually
They're
true.
the only ones to win.
That's true.
Is that
So-
real?
That,
Yeah,
that,
that
was
happened.
that was in the
That
Casper
happened in the
movie.
movie.
Joe is correct. It did happen in the movie because that's
Oh,
when
I remember
they were trying to get the ghosts out of the house, so they called like
Yeah, they're like, call someone else.
yeah, who you gonna call? Somebody else. So like that actually happened. I completely forgot about that. That slipped my mind.
I mean, was Casper's family even evil?
They were pretty bad. Yeah.
The ghostly trio.
Everyone but
they're
Casper
horrible.
was. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Clearly you don't
No,
remember Casper lore.
Yeah, no, I have not seen anything Casper related since I was fucking 9 years old. I apologize.
Some Ghostbusters fan this guy is.
Wow, can't believe you didn't get that. Jeez. You got to look up that clip though. Just like Ghostbusters and Casper, yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Very fascinating fact there, Joe. I find it kind of hard to believe, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, it's there,
It's true.
100%.
Yeah.
It's there. But yeah, so back to the real Ghostbusters, which was named the real Ghostbusters because of some difficulty in the rights.
Licensing.
Yes. So the real Ghostbusters came out because Filmation had Deke Entertainment actually did the real Ghostbusters, but Filmation had Deke.
It's not Dick.
It's Deke.
It's Dick.
It's Deke.
No, I'm pretty sure even after the credits, the kid says Dick.
No, he goes Deke. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure.
Potato.
I'm pretty sure I have what he said. Hold on, let me pull up. I have a screenshot of the screenplay. So I have. All right, here it is. He says, "It's Vigo."
It's Vigo. So, anyways, there was the title dispute with Filmation, who is really well known for like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and such stuff like that. But they're back in like the late 70s. They had a TV show called The Ghostbusters, and it was really weird. It had a couple guys in this like gorilla that went around and hunted ghosts. It was crazy.
Gorilla.
Yeah, like you know what it is, right? I know you know what it is. It was a guy in a gorilla suit that they just ran around. It was so strange, but so to combat the Ghostbusters, they released a cartoon called Ghostbusters, and so they reimagined the live action TV show that they did with the cartoon Ghostbusters. And so because of that, the Ghostbusters had to change their name to the real Ghostbusters. And that aired in 86 to 91, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It had some of the great voice actors in there. You had, first of all, you had Dave Coulier, which he's from Full House, but he voiced Peter Venkman. After
That's
Lorenzo
not Dave
Music.
Coulier live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
when we went to get our tickets, the lady at the window said, "Oh, are you his family?" I was like, "What? Like your last name? It looks like Coulier." When has looked like been the same as it? Like, what are you talking about?
Joe's like, my last name's the great.
What are you talking about? I'm not gonna say my last name, but it's not spelled like Coulier. It kind of sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know if you know my last name, Phoenix.
I know it because I do.
Yeah. So it's definitely not Coulier.
Right,
It's not
right.
spelled the same.
Yeah.
It very vaguely looks like it. It kind of sounds similar.
So you're saying the person that talking to you was an idiot?
Yeah, the lady at the box office. We went to pick up the ticket. She's like, "Oh, are you his family?"
You should have been like, "Yes."
What are you talking about? Is he from this area of Michigan? No. What do you? I was like, "Isn't he?" I actually said, "Isn't he Canadian?" And she's like, "Yeah."
You should have been like, "Cut it out."
I was too young to even say anything.
Oh yeah. So he voiced Peter Venkman after Lorenzo Music. I think he passed away, and that's when he took over the role. And then at the same time, Arsenio Hall did Winston, which is hilarious. I heard this little anecdote.
I can see him as a good Winston.
Yeah, well, what's funny is Ernie Hudson auditioned for Winston in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon, and they were like, "You sound nothing like him." Like literally, he tells a story about
That's
it.
hilarious.
He didn't get the role, and it went
It's
to
like-
Arsenio Hall.
It's like
Imagine
Charlie
not
Chaplin
getting to
coming in
voice his own
second
character.
place. Charlie Chaplin once came in second place at Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest.
I mean, it's
I'm
just
like,
so funny.
what do you mean I don't look like him?
Yeah.
I'm him.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after a few seasons, Arsenio Hall left and Buster Jones took over for him, which I don't know him very well, but Maurice LaMarche, I think that's how you say his name. He was the voice of Egon Spengler. And then Frank Welker, you know, one of Zombie's favorite Batman actors, voiced Ray and Slimer. So, and the cool thing about Maurice LaMarche, he actually continued. He's the only, well, I don't know if he's the only one, but he literally was a regular on the Real Ghostbusters and its predecessor.
The fake Ghostbusters. Right?
No, actually, the follow up to it was really, really good.
The Extreme Ghostbusters was actually insanely good. At
It
least
was-
for like, you know, for like bringing a new, like, it was the first time they brought in a new crew,
Yeah,
like, you know, and they did well.
they did well. Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're my favorite crew, but like,
No.
they're definitely better.
They did it.
Definitely
They
a
did a
crew.
great
Another
job
crew I know.
because you had Egon in there, you know, and he was a regular. He was kind of like the old
The
Batman.
mentor.
Yeah, the mentor. Yeah, I was gonna
He
say
had
the old Bruce
Egon,
Wayne.
Egon, Janine, and Slimer.
Yeah.
And then I think the old crew did come back for like one episode.
One or
but
two
that
episodes,
was-
yeah, at most.
Yeah. I think it was a 2-part special.
Yeah. So, like, those two series combined were just great. Now, later on in the Real Ghostbusters, it got changed to like Slimer and the Ghostbusters or something like that. And it got a little bit more, the animation got a little more campy, kind of like more basic for you could tell it was more aimed at kids more, even more so. But it was a good show. It had some really good storylines, and some of those storylines actually bled over into the new game as a DLC, which is phenomenal.
Just good.
Yes. But, you know, between the Real Ghostbusters and the Extreme Ghostbusters, they were both really solid shows. It was sad that the Extreme Ghostbusters only lasted like one season, but it's got like what 40 episodes in the season, and that's because, you know, back in the day they'd actually shoot a ton of episodes, you know, for per season when it came to cartoons. Like there was like the He-Man series would shoot 65 episodes, you know, for one season. So, and they
It
did
was
that.
also where
Do
they
what?
really went out there with the ghosts. You know, all the different dangerous ghosts that they fight.
Yeah.
It's just, man, again, that's why I just kind of surprised that Casper's family managed to defeat the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But out here, the
You-
real Ghostbusters are casually beating the Boogeyman.
Technically, it was only Dan Aykroyd that they beat.
Oh,
He was-
okay, so
he-
it was
he was the
okay, it
only
solo-
one
it
that
was a
came,
solo
but-
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he did say to not call them. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a solo job that he didn't recommend they call the whole group for anymore. So
They're like, who are you going to call? Someone else. And so, yeah, like you don't, you know, he's basically saying
A very
the
short
Ghostbusters
clip.
as a whole. Yeah. It's, I mean, you blink and you miss it, but like if you know, you know, so,
boy, was it funny.
so yeah, I really did like the series. I started rewatching the new of the Real Ghostbusters when that DLC came out for Spirits Unleashed. Is that what it's called? Yeah. But I didn't get through it. Like my attention goes so many different places. And okay, so completely off the topic, not like that's happened at all during this episode.
Sure,
but
man.
Whenever
but
we got off topic.
I'm literally covering two things that Arson loves. I find it hilarious that in the real Ghostbusters, you have Lorenzo Music playing the voice of Peter, and then you have Bill Murray playing Peter in the movie. Okay, now
Field.
you know where I'm going with this.
I already knew
Yeah.
the second we started talking about this whole thing.
So in the original Garfield cartoons, Lorenzo Music was the voice of Garfield, and in the movies, Dan Aykroyd was the voice of Garfield. I thought
Dan
that was really
Aykroyd.
not Dan Aykroyd. Sorry, Bill Murray. Sorry.
This guy never saw the movies.
No, he's not a real fan. Get him.
But I thought that was really cool the way they did that. I'm sure that wasn't intentional, but it was really cool just the way that happened, you know? So it's
Look,
like,
just know that everything is connected to Garfield in some way, shape, or form. You can't escape
Mhm.
it. It all
Yeah.
leads back to the orange bit.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, I had to throw that in there because I thought that was pretty interesting. That happened. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." That the way that happens. But yeah, so apparently, apparently, don't quote me on this 100% because this is on Wikipedia. But apparently, Netflix has a new that there's a new Ghostbusters cartoon in the works. It was announced June of 2022, and the series is going to be produced by Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan, and both who produced Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I bet you it's going to be connected somehow. And as a production
That gives me a little bit of hope, but the fact that Netflix is behind it makes me a little nervous.
yes.
Yes.
I will say this though, Netflix was behind the new Avatar TV show, and I watched that, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Like it's so true to. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so true to the original series. Like it's so good.
That's not true. It is. It's a lot more true to the original series than the movie.
Anything's more true to the series than the movie.
There's still a lot that they just kind of go off the rails, do whatever the hell they want on.
It was still.
I knew it.
Look,
this is gonna.
Don't let him gaslight you into thinking it's just a straight good movie.
By the end of the last episode, I was so sad that there's not more to watch. I cannot wait until they greenlight a second season and get that thing started because with that series there should at least be 3 seasons, right? Should be for because he already has the master over the wind. He needs to finish mastering water and earth and then fire, and stuff like that. So
and then heart.
And then
If you want to see something like that, then just watch the animated series.
I've already seen the animated series, and I actually started watching
and
it
you
again.
can see it again.
But
you're
look,
basically watching the same thing, but in live action. But you can see it in the animated series, which is just better.
I'm just saying the effects in the show are amazing. The way they do the bending, like with that animation, is absolutely phenomenal.
No, I can't be hearing this, Joe. Is he telling the truth?
The movie wasn't bad, or the show wasn't bad, but there are definitely parts you go, And I know because my wife's a die-hard Avatar fan. She loves the original series, and every time we're watching, she goes, "What the hell? What are they doing? This isn't what happens. This isn't canonical.
Well,
this isn't real." And the whole time, I'm like, yeah, you tell him. You tell him.
They did a good job with the casting too. I think everybody that was casted in that show,
yeah, I think they did an okay job.
Looked really good. But yeah, so anyways, there's supposedly a new Ghostbusters cartoon coming out. I don't know when, I don't know, how, but it's supposed to be through Netflix. We'll see how that goes, and yeah.
Don't have any high expectations, people. This is Netflix we're talking about here. Anyway, since Joe and Zombie really can't contribute much to the animated part of this section of this, do you mind just giving us?
That's why I got popcorn.
Yeah, just give us some fun facts to cap us off from the on both the series.
I thought I already did with some of the voice actors and stuff.
Okay,
Well,
fun
I
fact:
guess, yeah, but
the movies
if there's
existed.
anything else,
Well, hold on. Let's get Zombie. Zombie did sound like he had something to say.
No.
Oh, come on, Zombie. Say something. No,
Something.
daggone
it.
it. I literally fell into that one.
yeah,
You weren't quick
really
enough.
set that
I
one
knew
up.
what you were gonna say. You weren't quick enough.
Okay, well, you got some fun facts for the real Ghostbusters, but what about the extreme? Any fun facts about that?
Yeah.
That's it. Only lasted one season. I don't know. I didn't look that up.
That
Extreme
was
Home
indeed a
Makeover?
tragedy. That whole one season thing was a crime.
Yeah, it was. Let me look it up. Hold on. Let me see.
I remember what was the one clown ghost that infected people like
Oh,
that was pretty freaky. The
yeah,
ghosts in Extreme were like especially how do I say this? Raw?
yeah.
They were vile. They were some vile ghosts. They really upped the disturbing factor on them.
So here's one I can contribute. Sam Hain, which is the Pumpkinhead, you know, the Pumpkinhead ghost, and he is a reoccurring villain from the real Ghostbusters series. He appears in the opening and end credits, but has never featured in any of the episodes. And I guarantee that that's because they were planning on using him in like the second season or whatnot, or third. Yeah, but he was released in his own action figure for Extreme Ghostbusters 2. So, you know,
Oh man,
there
that's a
was
shame.
yeah,
Pumpkinhead is actually a really good villain.
yeah, he is. But yeah, like I said, he was featured in the intro and the outro, but never put in. Also,
I wanna see Sandman come back.
oh, dude, that was yes.
Spider-Man 2 Sandman? Or Spider-Man 3 Sandman?
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 2,
Please.
big Spider-Man fan. Get him!
No, I'm at 3. No, I love 3. 3's my favorite. That's the wrong answer.
So
I really
today's
like 3.
opposite day, apparently. So
3 was a good movie. If the producers didn't ruin that movie, it'd been a phenomenal movie.
yeah, the
Studio
best
would just
part.
fuck off and let
All
my
about
boy
Sandman.
make a good movie. Let Sam Raimi cook. Make a good movie.
Look, I'm gonna flat out say this because this is what Arson would say. The only thing that was good about that movie were the memes.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Wrong.
I'm gonna have to. Oh yeah, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, I figured that would be what you would say. However, you know, the disco dancing
Memes
Peter
are
is pretty great.
memes are a large factor, yes. If we never had Venom, we would have never had that baller dance scene. But aside from
Yeah.
that, I'd still say Spider-Man 3 is a fine movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Well,
I would
Come
even.
on.
I've
Like,
heard arguments that it's a cinematic masterpiece.
agree to disagree.
come on, you don't like the scene where Harry angrily throws the bomb at Peter, and Peter just
Oh, amazing!
throws it back at him.
That signifies the switch. That's when he
Yeah.
went from good guy to bad guy.
Yeah,
That's when he went from
And the director's cut version of that was way better because as soon as the bomb went off, it jump cut to the dance scene.
he went from Tobey Maguire to Bully Maguire.
It was like, whoa! It was such a jarring jump. The studio
Yeah,
said
it
no.
was.
They didn't let Sam do it. I don't remember how it actually goes now, but the way it's supposed to go is the best.
So,
It's so good.
anyways,
Back on topic.
we have gone off topic so much.
Yeah.
It's not even
Back to
funny.
Spider-Man 2. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
back
made
to
it get away
Spider-Man
from
2.
the
Doc
second one.
Ock just now. No. Anyways.
Stole the show.
All because of Sandman. See,
Yes.
Phoenix, this is why characters having the same name is really problematic.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. So another fun fact, and this will be the last one that we can move on. There were plans to actually give Slimer a mischievous goblin companion named Nat, G-N-A-T, but
Matt.
they were soon scrapped. So that would have been interesting to have Slimer have his own little mischievous companion when he's already mischievous as himself.
I don't think they could have handled two of them.
No. Okay, I'll say one more. So the original title was supposed to be Super Ghostbusters, but the producers found that the title was a bit too soft and came up with a more edgy sounding Extreme Ghostbusters. So there you go. So
All right. I guess that leaves with one last thing that I should talk about before we end this completely drawn out of topic, absolutely slobberfest of a podcast.
What are we talking about?
That is the video game from, what was it, 2010, something like that.
Yeah,
I forgot
something
the
like
year
that.
it came out, but I remember the game very fondly. This is the unofficial third movie, but in video game form. Takes place after two. This is the Ghostbusters, without a doubt, at their strongest, with all the different equipment, the gear. Uh, they had different firing modes for the proton packs. They even had a built-in slime thrower. Like they were basically strapped. This was them at their most versatile and dangerous. Which is why it's unfortunate that nothing like that carried over to Afterlife. But whatever.
Yeah.
But you play as the new guy.
The recruit.
One of aside from Egon, this surprisingly, this is one of my other favorite Ghostbusters, which is Rookie.
Rookie,
You
yes,
play as the
Rookie.
Rookie. Starting in, and in his first day on the job, of course, everything goes to shit because, of course, that's the same with what happened with Winston. And then you finally first day on the job, and you catch yourself in this whole loop of mandalas and uh bad things coming back. Stay Puft returns, but you kick his ass on the side of a building. And actually, this is aside from like movie wise, aside from Vigo. Go ahead, Zombie.
It's Vigo.
Aside from him, this is actually is a game, or I guess the third movie, where it does have a new big bad ghost, even though it's one that has already been established since the first movie, and that is Ivo Shandor. Shandor, the architect, the guy who worships Gozer, made the hotel and all that crap for Gozer, so they can be summoned, so they can bring the end times. Um, after the Rookie kicks Gozer's ass a second time as Stay Puft, Shandor decided, you know what, this guy sucks. I'm going to become the next big guy. But you don't really realize that till the end of the game. It's kind of just slowly building up. But yeah, you go around iconic locations from Times Square, the museum, the library. You even go to a completely original location that is never seen in anywhere else, and that's Shandor Island, and that's like in the Hudson River, that just comes out of nowhere. Because why not? It is actually a very spooky place, pretty disturbing. It actually explains where all the slime came from the second movie. They pump all the slime from that island into the sewers. That was that whole thing. But yeah, it's a really fun game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's especially fun playing with all the different equipment. There's even like, I guess a little spirit guide that teaches you all about the ghosts that you scan and everything. So that's a pretty neat thing that you can read up on. I know I spent a lot of hours just reading about all the different types of ghosts.
So basically, it has a spirit Pokédex in there.
Yeah, that's basically it. You even read it from like the PKE. So yeah, it is.
Yeah,
A ghosty dex, whatever.
Ghosty Dex.
But no, yeah. I know two levels stick out especially for me, and that is the library where you fight. You finally fight and capture the librarian ghost, and the Return to Cedric Hotel. Two levels are around the hotel. The first is where you do your tutorial and all that crap. Slimer escapes, so you got to go get him again. But yeah, after a while, you return back to the hotel, and it's like it's shut down. It's basically like sealed up. Furniture's been removed and all that, renovations and stuff. But you go in because that's where one of the mandala nodes is, which is where the focusing point for a lot of ghosts is. So they kind of got to shut that down. So you, rookie, Egon, Ray, and Winston go to shut that down. Whole place is down. You try to fix things, power on the elevators so you can go to the 13th floor, even though there is no 13th floor.
Spoiler.
And one of the more, what, I guess it's not really a ghost. It's more of like a manifestation, and it's one of the more I guess stick out enemies to me, at least from the game, and that's the Spider Witch. Basically you go through the hotel, and the more you go in, it warps more until it looks like a nasty spider lair, and it's basically down to you and Egon to take her down, and you do. It's a tricky boss fight if you don't know what you're doing, but it's just, I really like the game because it really solidifies the creepiness aspect of the world that you don't get a lot, because alongside the terror you get a lot of slapstick from the other crew in the movies, but you don't really get that a lot. Sure, you get a healthy dose of it in the game, but there are times in the game where you are cut off from your teammates and you are alone, left with basically how it normally would be if you were stuck in a haunted place with ghosts that probably want to kill you. And it's really good. I like it. It's a solid experience if you want to get more of your Ghostbusters fix.
Yeah.
Especially if Spirits Unleashed isn't cutting it for you, because as much as I do like Spirits Unleashed, it really lacks that the vibes that the video game does.
Well, yeah, but you got to realize they're two totally different things. Like, one is strictly like an online type of deal. Yes, it has a storyline, but it's not as in depth as that one. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's completely different things. So
Right.
it's unfortunate, but it's whatever. I still enjoy the game.
To be fair, if I never picked up Spirits Unleashed, I'd have never met you. So, that's
how different would the future have been then.
Right. Hey, I'd have had to have a different co-host, or at times a host.
You would have never had a co-host.
But I would have never really met you, I don't think, because I was literally playing that Ghostbusters game, and lo and behold, here comes Arson. And
with subs.
Yeah, he bought his way into the Discord, and the rest is
crashed
history.
my way to the skylight with wads of cash in my hand.
Yep.
Must not realize all you gotta do is be a Dead by Daylight killer, and you'll be let in with open arms.
Yeah, I should have just murderized you and be like, ha!
But yeah, I mean, I'm so thankful that we did meet, and we've become very close, and it's been a great ride so far, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
An announcement: their wedding will be held July 27th at 4 p.m.
Hey, hold on.
And it's gonna be the live stream to the Twitch. Oh, were you guys not public with that yet? I'm sorry. All right, continue.
How about no?
Sorry.
So, yeah, let's talk about one more Ghostbusters game, and it literally is what I posted in the text channel. Well, the first image is actually. This is
I'm sure our listeners can really see that nicely.
Yeah, so the original the original Ghostbusters game was very basic. It came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, and it had this map of the city, and instead of a vehicle you're driving around in, you move around in the Ghostbusters logo, and you're trying to deter ghosts from getting to the center where Zool is. And so you'll have to stop. You have to stop at certain locations and bust ghosts if that location's glowing red. But instead of going to the headquarters to get your stuff, you start off with nothing. You have to earn money, and then go up to the shop and buy all your equipment. You don't start off with anything. You
So did they just give you a trap or prototype?
No, they don't give you anything. You have to go up there and buy it.
The hell?
Yeah, it's so strange. But
How are you gonna hire me as a Ghostbuster and not give me anything that makes me a Ghostbuster?
So when you go into the place that's haunted, you have to drive there. Even though you're right there, you move there and you're there, but you have to drive. And then you've got these like ghost vehicles that are trying to run you off the road. Every time they hit you, that takes money from you. So you have to pay, like it's their fault, but you have to pay for it. Your insurance probably skyrockets, and so yeah. So when you finally get there, you you have to like shoot up at the building with your proton pack and capture 4 ghosts, and you get money for those, and then you have to like your trap will fill up eventually and you have to go back to the HQ to drop it off. However, the shop has a super trap to where you never have to empty it. it is so nuts. Like I
Not just
remember
give me that.
it was crazy. Like I remember playing it back in the day, and then I looked it up. I was like, holy crap, that's a thing. Now the one I don't remember is they had a Ghostbusters 2 game too. And I never played that, but that was also on the NES. But it's the first one just like was like wow. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. That's all I got.
Well, that's a neat little detour. I guess
Yeah.
starting off with no equipment, get out of here.
Yeah, you start off with nothing, and you have to. So you got you start off at the HQ, and then you go run around trying to capture like I guess when you deter the ghosts, you get like money from it. So as you gain money, you can go up there and buy stuff from the shop and stuff like that. So it's so stupid. It's crazy. Yeah, I bet I thought it was really cool as a kid, but I was watching a little bit of gameplay earlier. I was like, oh my gosh, how could I have ever thought this was cool? So, but you know, it was Ghostbusters, you know. So,
I guess quickly going back, I guess giving a fun fact about the video game. Rookie actually was canon to the Ghostbusters lore. He wasn't just a one-off. He's appeared in the comics. He's also, I guess, you know, it's not really canonical because it's a fucking board game. But he was also in the board game. And that also again, you know, Ivo Shandor being the big bad. You do fight him at the end. You banish him, kick his ass. And that's what contradicts directly with Afterlife. Aside from the fact that the proton packs aren't completely goated with all the different equipment, and Rookie is nowhere to be found. Ivo Shandor also makes an appearance in Afterlife, but he's dead. But not for the reasons you think. Freaking Gozer killed him. Not a surprise. And I guess that there's the direct contradiction to the lore, which is unfortunate because I do like the Rookie and I really wish he did appear again, but I guess now he's relegated to, I guess, a different timeline, I guess we'll just say. Say he's not canon, but he's also not canon to the main movies anymore. Disappointing, but oh well.
did the Rookie ever get a name?
Yeah, he does have a name. It's Brian something.
It's Vigo.
It's not Vigo.
It's Vigo.
I don't know what type of person would name me Vigo, but I wouldn't have much will to live.
Well, yeah.
But no, yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, Rookie, you know, justice for Rookie is all I'm gonna say.
Well, at least he had a name.
But I think, oh yeah, he had a name, and that's all. But
better than Red Shirt. I mean, what?
Red Shirt Shaggy. But all right, no, that's. I think we've taken up plenty of time here. I think it's a good time to start wrapping things up. Thank you for joining us. We've come to the end of our time. You can find out more about everything in the links, whatever. Merchandise is coming soon.
Ghostbusters t-shirts.
I don't think we. Yeah, no. If you want to bring down the licensing gods upon us, maybe we can make like a maybe Joe. How good are you at Photoshop?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you could probably make a spoof icon, whatever. We can sell a mug, T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't feel like walking that line.
I don't either.
That's completely understandable. Anyways, yeah. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. And you lads got anything you want to say to the lovely audience?
It's legal.